Hello, I'm Crimson Clover and welcome back to Clover Reads. Today we're over on the Am I the A-Hole Here subreddit with 4 stories. The first one is by Reddit user MasterAd1534 titled, Am I the A-Hole for leaving my boyfriend's Christmas party after he repeatedly humiliated me in front of his coworkers? And I'm just gonna say, no. If all you did was leave, I really don't see how you could be the a-hole there. And this happened last weekend, and I can't stop thinking about it. My boyfriend, 30 male, invited me, 28 female, to his company's Christmas dinner, and I was excited but also nervous. I wanted to make a good impression, so I spent a lot of time picking the perfect outfit, doing my hair, and ensuring I was presentable. When we arrived, everything looked fine at first. I introduced myself to his coworkers, and they were polite, if not a little stiff. As the night went on, though, things took a turn. During dinner, my boyfriend made a joke about my job. I'm an event planner, and he works in corporate finance. He said something like, she just plans parties for a living while I'm out here making real money. People laughed, but I felt a lump in my throat. I work hard, and I'm proud of what I do, so hearing him belittle me like that stung. I tried to laugh it off to keep things light, but then he doubled down. Someone asked me about my favorite event I'd planned, and before I could answer, he interrupted saying, probably one of those kids' birthday parties? That's her level of expertise. What an ass! Everyone laughed again, and I just sat there mortified. The final straw came during dessert when people were sharing funny stories. He decided to tell an embarrassing story about me that I've explicitly asked him not to share before. It's a personal story from early on in our relationship, involving a mishap I had while meeting his parents. I was practically begging him with my eyes to stop, but he told the story anyway. I felt like I couldn't breathe. Everyone was laughing and I wanted to disappear. I quietly told him I wasn't okay with what he was doing, but he brushed me off saying, don't be so uptight, it's all in good fun. At that point, I couldn't take it anymore. I excused myself, thanked the host, and left. When he got home, he was furious, accusing me of embarrassing him by leaving. He said I made him look bad in front of his coworkers, that I was being overly sensitive. Now he's refusing to apologize and insists I owe him an apology for overreacting. My friends are split. Some say I should have stayed and dealt with it later, while others think he crossed the line. So, am I the a-hole for walking out? I don't think so. I mean, as long as you had the ability to leave and he wasn't... as long as you weren't, like, ride-sharing and he had the ability to leave, well, no. He could have gotten an Uber. So no. Your boyfriend is an asshole. And I hope that you examine your relationship, OP, and to see if he's treated you like this in more subtle manners. Because this could have just been like the most obvious incident of him treating you like this. Man, if someone asks you not to share embarrassing stories, don't share their embarrassing stories. You can share your own. Your own is perfectly fine. As long as they don't involve other people who don't want you sharing, I guess. I don't know. I don't have too many embarrassing stories. Mostly because I don't interact with a lot of other people in my day-to-day life. And the stories that have been shared with me that are embarrassing, I keep to myself. Because in no way have people said it's okay for me to share their embarrassing stories. It's rude. So again, no, OP, I think you are perfectly justified in walking out. I think your friend should be on your side and say that he should apologize. And if he's not willing to apologize at all, you should reconsider whether or not you want to live with him. Hopefully, because I don't know how much money an event planner makes. And I don't really know how much someone in corporate finance makes. I'm assuming if he's high up in a company, maybe he makes a lot of money. But if you're an experienced event planner, you know, you could make a lot of money too, because planning is planning. Planning is hard. Being willing to pay other people to plan for you. You can charge for that, right? Nah, I don't want to jump right to saying that OP should dump the boyfriend, but maybe get your own apartment. Maybe if you move out and stop doing all the things you do for him, you know, maybe he'll appreciate you a little more. Maybe not. And moving on to story 2 from Reddit user Inner Tumbleweed 942, titled, "Am I the a-hole here for breaking up with my partner because I'm quote-unquote transphobic?" Okay, I need to know what the quotes are for. "I, 30 male, have been seeing my partner, 29 M to F, for the past 6 months. We met on a dating app and surprisingly enough we hit it off and actually had a pretty good relationship going on. A few days ago, she came to me and told me she has been working through some stuff and was finally comfortable coming out to me as M to F transgender and intended to start making changes in how she lived her life." Oh, okay then. Yeah. So you went into your relationship dating with a certain level of expectation, and they've changed it on you. Without further context, I would say breaking up is probably healthy. For the record, I support all members of the LGBT community since I am one, but I am 100% gay, and I prefer masculinity over femininity when it comes to guys. See, if she's no longer a guy, then you would be dating a woman and you don't date women. I told her I was so happy for her, but that we wouldn't really be able to continue dating, seeing as I wouldn't be attracted to her if she got a sex change, or even just began dressing as a woman. She immediately freaked out and called me transphobic since I clearly only liked her for her physical appearance and not her as a person. I have tried to have a civil conversation, but she left and hasn't talked to me since. I mean, you can still like someone's personality and not be physically attracted to them anymore. And if what you want out of a relationship includes sex, it's fair to say, I am no longer physically attracted to you. Let's break it off before I'm tempted to go cheat on you. Alright, further on. I know I'm not wrong for believing the relationship would have to end, but I feel like maybe the way I handled the situation poorly deserved the anger that was directed at me. Am I the a-hole here for breaking up with my boyfriend of 6 months after she came out as M to F transgender? Again, I don't think so. Edit. I didn't mean to misgender her. I was just a force of habit with how I've been referring to her up to this point before she came out. Okay, good to know that OP had caught their mistakes. I'm assuming somebody probably pointed it out before I found the article. Edit 2. I should also mention that when we met, she identified and presented as a 100% gay, masculine, cisgendered man. So her coming out to me was a shock, but I am still incredibly happy for her. And I'm glad your relationship was good enough that she trusted you with that. Edit 3. I've seen some people asking for how the conversation went. Essentially, she came over and we were playing some video games before she asked to tell me something. She told me she's been working through some things and that she was ready to accept that she was M to F transgender. Yes, I was surprised because I had zero idea. I told her I was happy for her and we talked more. She had come out to her parents the night before. They're super supportive and her dad offered to return some of the clothes they'd planned to give her for Christmas so she could pick out new ones. Aw, I'm glad that her parents were so supportive of her. It was after a few minutes that I brought up us and said, I guess we won't be able to continue dating because I'm gay and she's a woman. That's when she got upset. Small update. I woke up this morning and attempted to call her. Since it's been a few days, I thought maybe we could talk this out. It went immediately to voicemail, so she either has her phone off or I've been blocked. Not really sure what to do now. Update 2. I'm at work right now, and she sent me a text saying she'd like to call me when I'm free. I'll update tomorrow to tell you how it goes. And this story does have an update. Hey everyone! I wanted to say thank you so much for all the kind words I received yesterday, and also to say sorry to those who have gone through similar issues with what I'm dealing with. I spoke with my now ex-partner last night, and while we are going to try and remain friends, I haven't forgiven her quite yet. I'll try to keep things short and concise because we talked a lot last night. I mean, fair, if you think you can stay friends, I hope you can stay friends. Not everybody can. When I got home from work last night, I texted her that she could call me whenever she was ready. She left me on read for about 5 minutes before calling, and the moment I said hi, she started apologizing. She doesn't actually think I'm transphobic and was beyond embarrassed that she called me such. Apparently, what happened was, before coming out to me or her parents, she told a few friends of hers, one of which she'd known since high school. Back in high school, when she was still he, she came out to her friends as a gay man. Her best friend at the time was someone she'd had a crush on, admitted to him that she liked him when she came out to him. He turned her down with the whole, "I support you coming out, but I'm not gay, we're just friends" speech. Well, when she came out again to said friend earlier this week as M to F, he apparently asked her if she wanted to change genders because she was still into him. I thought that if she was girl, she'd date her. Oh my god. That's a terrible take. What an ass. Long story short, her ex-friend supports gay people, but is in fact 100% a transphobe. And when I suggested ending their relationship after she came out to me, she took that anger out on me and then became too embarrassed to apologize and sort of doubled down. I told her that I get where her anger came from, but it wasn't cool to direct it at me. We talked some more afterwards, and we've left it at that for now. We're gonna try to stay friends, but there's a way to go before I've fully forgiven her. She plans to take the transition slow, probably not gonna look into hormones until next winter, as she wants people to get used to her changes first. Also, isn't there like therapy you're mandated to go through for that? I'm not sure. Feel free to tell me if you have such experiences. She did tell me that she decided on a name change. She's using a feminine version of her favorite uncle's name as he's apparently been her biggest supporter for years, even taken her to her first Pride event in high school. Aw, that's a good uncle. I'm told she cried when she told him during Christmas, which was very heartwarming to hear. Oh, the uncle cried. Edit. I left out the actual fight she had with her ex-friend because I didn't want to go into detail about a private matter that didn't involve me. But yes, the guy is a transgender isn't a thing. You're born the gender, you're a piece of shit. Apologies for the cussing. I didn't feel like editing or censoring myself for that one. But yay, adult communication. Hopefully they can work their way to this place where they're friends. I'm glad for OP that he was someone that his now ex felt comfortable coming out to. Poor for the ex that her friend was such a douche. But I'm glad her family is supportive. I'm glad her uncle's supportive. And wishing them both luck. So, moving on to story 3. Moonlit Pixie 47. I'm gonna say I just like the name. I'm the a-hole for refusing to help my coworker with her project after she took credit for mine. No, you're not. That's like working with someone in high school and having a group project and having someone steal your stuff. That's just no good. I, 30 female, work in a team of 5 at a marketing company, and we've been working on a big project for the last few weeks. I've been putting in a lot of extra hours, staying late, really pushing myself to get things done on time. My coworker, Rachel, 28 female, is a part of the team, but she's been a little disengaged. She's been missing meetings, showing up late, not really contributing much to the work. I've tried to help her get caught up and offered to work together, but she always seems too busy or distracted. Last week, we were finalizing the project, and I sent over my section for review. When it came time for the presentation to the higher-ups, I found out that Rachel had basically copied my work and presented it as her own. She didn't even acknowledge that I helped her. I thought the work was mine. I was pretty livid but didn't say anything during the meeting, trying to keep it professional. Afterwards, I confronted her about it and she played it off like it was no big deal. She said she was just too busy and didn't have time to do her part, so she used mine as a reference. I told her that it wasn't a reference, it was my actual work, and she took credit for it. Now she's asking me to help her with her next part of the project. But I'm really upset and don't feel like I should. I've worked hard, and I feel like she's trying to take advantage of me. Our boss has noticed she's been slacking lately and is counting on me to help. But I just don't think I can support someone who has already taken advantage of me like this. I'm getting a lot of pressure from the team and even some friends to just let it go, but I'm standing firm and not helping her. Yeah, I wouldn't help her. Of course, I'm kind of petty. It doesn't matter if I'm petty or not, I still wouldn't help her. I think OP should go to her boss, show the paper trail of this is the work I did, this is when I sent it to her for a revision and review, because, you're part of a team, you gotta communicate with your team. And then hey, she never got back to me. She never said how it fit into the presentation. She just took my work. Ask maybe if you could work with a different team. I'm assuming a marketing firm would have more than one team. Depends on how big it is, I guess. And the other people who were part of the team going, yeah, just let it go. I bet none of them would have let it go if she'd stolen their work. But no, that's letting her get away with it is not a good precedent because she'll just do it again and again and again, and then the team will be carrying her, and then they'll get frustrated and somebody's gonna lash out, probably verbally, and then get reprimanded. It's just gonna go downhill from there. So no, Evie, you won't be the asshole for not helping her with her project. I maybe try talking to her again. Okay, what if Rachel is going through something in her life that we just don't know about, that she hasn't told OP about? Maybe press a little bit, see how her life is going. But even if she's going through something, I still don't think you'd be the asshole for not helping her with her next project. Unless it was something serious, like very serious, like going in for cancer treatment, or you had a provable death in the family. I hate to say provable, right? But that's a pretty common excuse people use to get out of work, even when they haven't lost anyone. Not talking like I know someone who did something like that. No, not at all. And that's all I can say on that matter without getting into trouble. Moving on to Reddit user Vivid Technician 829, we have the story titled, "Am I the a-hole for taking everything that's mine when my roommate asked me to move out?" How much of everything is everything? I want to know. My 21 male roommate, 21 female, and I moved into an apartment together about 5 months ago. We're friends, and she was the one who found the place and put me on the lease to sign. I was nothing but respectful as a roommate. We split chores, I did my dishes, and there wasn't any tension between us. So I thought. One day while I was out, she texted me saying she needed to talk to me when I got home. When I returned, she sat me down, told me she wanted me to move out. She said she didn't think she wanted to continue living with me. She'd already talked to the landlord and set a move-out date for January 1st. I was blindsided, but didn't put up a fight. I decided to leave as quickly as I could because why stay somewhere I'm not wanted? I scrambled to find another place, and in the process, I realized something important. I paid for pretty much everything in the apartment. The plates, the couch, the TV, the router, for the Wi-Fi, which I also paid for, and all of the cool stuff in the apartment were purchased out of my pocket. So I told her I'd be taking everything I bought when I moved out. She said okay. On the day I moved out, I rented a truck and took all my things. She wasn't home, so when she came back to the apartment, I was basically empty. She freaked out and started texting and calling me. When I answered, she went on a rant about how I shouldn't have taken everything, how bad the apartment looked now, and how was she supposed to explain this situation to her friends. I calmly reminded her that I told her I was taking the things I bought, and she agreed. She hung up on me, but then started telling our mutual friends what happened. Now some of them are calling me an a-hole for leaving her in a bare apartment, while others say I did the right thing because it was all my stuff anyway. For what it's worth, I didn't leave her with nothing. I left the mini fridge, though I took the liqueur that was inside of it, so I feel like it was considered enough. Am I the a-hole? Honestly, I would have expected to see this story on like, Petty Revenge. No. If you paid for it, it's your right to take it. I mean, I want to know when she asked you to move out, how long did she give you to move out? Because it kind of sounds like she may want her boyfriend to move in, right? If you're just friends, she could have a boyfriend she wants to move in. She could have a female friend she wants to move in. Either or. And I would have talked to the landlord, though, to make sure she did talk to them. Just to make sure that she's not moving in someone that the landlord would have disapproved of. Like, I don't think that would have been the case, but it could have been. But no, that is the sort of petty I would do. I would just take everything. Well, everything that was mine. Okay, everything that I could prove was mine. I had the receipts for. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. Thank you for listening, and I hope everyone has a great New Year's. See you next time. Bye-bye.